In the beginning, picture a one-dimensional space devoid of any existence. Now, if you wish to bring something into this space, the first step is to create a foundation, and we will name this base 0, and this 0 will symbolize the base. The E0 existence is in zero-dimensional space because it's just a point-like entity for now, in this one-dimensional space, and it can also exist in one-dimensional space too. Now we have a base, and we just need some content to put on it, to make something exist, and we also need the content to be filled between 0 and 1. Why? To ensure that it becomes a proper unit because it reaches 1, and because it has a base 0. We know from where it has been born that the content is filled in this one space from left to right, and the more content we add, it will go in a similar direction. We will represent this unit with an arrow facing towards the right. Now, if you apply the concept of addition to this unit, you have something that exists and it can become larger and go up to infinity. As you can see, we make something exist in this one space with a base that we named 0. Starting from 0, we add content to reach 1. The content added from in 0 to 1. This now our unit, or we can say it's our block entity, and it has existence now in this on space. Now, because we have successfully filled the space with something that exists from its base 0 to the right, this right-hand side is completely occupied. However, we are missing something on the opposite side of 0. This is because when we built the foundation, we had two choices for placing our block entity. We placed our first block entity from 0 and to the right. But there is content that can be filled and can go from right to left, if started from 0. There's also something I want to explain before we reach our result. Whatever content we have added, we can refer to it as positive content, because this content was created by positively adding it from 0 until 1, and then it comes into existence. Similarly, we can have content that can be reduced from 1 to 0 and lose its existence, and we will call this negative content. For example, just like we have matter, we can also have antimatter. So if we have positive content, then there must be negative content. For those living in positive content, they will see it as positive, while those existing with negative content will consider their negative content as positive. The terms negative and positive might give us a different understanding that confuses our minds. To simplify, think of this content as your own content that will not be affected by similar types of content, but will annihilate if coupled with the opposite type of content. Because positive content is born from 0 and exists when reaching 1, we can think of negative content as having its existence, but it will annihilate the content you have and bring you back to the base from where the content started, and its representation will be like this arrow. It gives us idea that 1 has reduced to 0. Now, we are going to talk about 4 types of number line that can exist in this one-dimensional space, which no one else discusses. Now, in this one space, for something to exist, we have its foundations, 0 and 2 types of block entities, and we can start bringing existence to our one number line. The first type of number line that we can bring into existence consists only of positive content. In this, the positive content placed on both sides of 0. However, because the content that we filled before goes from 0 to 1, or goes left to right. Similarly, if you think wisely, you will realize that for the other side, you can put your content from 0 to 1, only if you start from right to left. Now, if you apply the concept of addition, the number line will start to exist, capturing the entire one space from both sides. The second type of number line that we can bring into existence is made of negative content only. In this, we obviously place our negative or opposite content on both sides, just like we did in the first type of number line. We can obviously put negative content, or let's say anti-content, because it also has existence. The third type of number line contains both types of content in it, and we have learned about this type of number line many times in school. It is an ideal type of number line that presents a lot of information compared to any other type. What makes this type special is that it contains both types of content. Positive content. Positive content is placed on the right-hand side of the number line, and negative content on the left-hand side. It provides us with a complete and simple understanding of the content we know. This type of number line has the ability to work with both concepts like addition and subtraction, just like others. The right-hand side shows us the positive content, and it is also infinite, meaning every positive content is included. Similarly, it also shows us the negative type of content, which is also infinite, meaning it contains every negative content we can think of. The fourth type of number line is a reflection of our third type of number line. The positive content that was on the right-hand side of the third number line is now on the left-hand side in this number line, and the negative content that was on the left-hand side is now on the right-hand side of the number line. Maybe you were amazed by what I have explained, and it feels so right. But because we haven't learned it in school or any university, and our intuition about anything is formed from there, it might seem like a lie to us, and we face challenges accepting it. But don't worry, I am here to explain to you what has happened and what really is the truth. As we all know, before we exist, we need a place to exist, which we call space. In this space, when something exists, it surely has a base. Since we are talking about a line-shaped entity, it only needed a point, like entity, as its base. And in this case, it was 0. When this point is used to build something on it, we need another point to limit its boundaries. Whatever has filled the space between these points exists, and we call it the unit. It can be the unit of anything that can exist here. So, because the line only goes from left to right when starting from 0, we have something empty on the left-hand side of 0 where we can add anything more. After understanding their proper working direction, we can start to exist something on this side too. And we finally filled the given space with something that can exist. Mathematics works as a language that helps us communicate and represent our awareness or understanding to anyone, but in a mathematical way. Whatever phenomena we observe or whatever entities or concepts that exist, we start giving them word or name, and whoever knows the meaning of their word properly begins to understand what others are really saying. Just like here, the language of mathematics also has some words that I used to help you understand something, to give you an illustration of what has happened. However, the real awareness, understanding, knowledge, or the meaning that the words hold is worth focusing on and not to be confused with names or words. The reason I arrive at this awareness toward any concept is that I understand it independently and without any influence that can lead me to adopt others' intuition. To give you an idea of how I research, first, I always try to understand from where it has originated, and I stop when I know its limitations properly. This helps me a lot more to understand any concept, like how long it is applicable or usable. The next video will be similar to this, in which I will tell you how to figure out their existence and limitations, and provide you with an idea of how to better understand any entity, concept, working principle, or space. The name of the next part of our Chapter 1, the space worthy of containing everything in it, will be entity in time. That will uncover many mysteries.